A new day is dawning on this, the Lord's 89th episode of the Duels and Manadorks podcast, a D&D and Magic the Gathering podcast. I am one half of the Dungeon Bros, Connor, and this is not Sam, so I can't really do the normal shtick and bit we have. I feel like we have to come up with our own bit, Wyatt.
Yeah, we'll have to find it along the way. That's got to be part of it, you know. The bits
it's got to come naturally. Exactly. We can't force the bit. We can't force the bit. But this is, of course, the Duels and Manadorks podcast. We talk about D&D, not as often because there's not as much to talk about. We don't play it as often, sadly. But we also talk about Magic the Gathering, all the news, the goings-on. We're going to get to it a little bit later, but Project Sigil had 90% of its staff laid off, which is crazy. We have all the collecting information we could possibly want for Tarkir Dragonstorm, and maybe Wizards of the Coast is making more Secret Lairs. That would be cool if they would stop, supply constraining that. It's kind of driving us crazy. But for those of you that have normally watched the program, this is a very different person that we have. This is Wyatt, a.k.a. the Typical Gemini on YouTube and all of the other social media. Sam is currently hiking the Appalachian Trail and will be gone for several months. So we've, I don't want to say upgraded, because that would be rude to Sam.
No.
But I don't think we've downgraded either.
I'm just filling in. Yeah.
A nice lateral move
just
to
a different
equally
addition
awesome.
to the party,
Exactly. We had a cleric.
Paladin.
Now we have a
warlock.
paladin.
Went from a paladin to a warlock.
Exactly. Both charisma, both. Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Party changes.
Exactly. We both have our children here with us today. Mine's napping on the bed. Yours is vibing very nicely. One of them is more important of a child than the other. I'll leave it up to the people at home to decide who is more important.
We won't say which one. We don't want to hurt their feelings.
Exactly. Jester would be horrifyingly offended, as you can tell. She's very upset at everything right now. But how the hell have you been, Wyatt? How do you feel about filling in for Sam on the Duels and Manadorks podcast?
I'm actually super psyched. I always enjoy chatting with both of you, but I also enjoy just being here. I always enjoy getting to talk about the nerdy interest and things going on in Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro in general. And I'm just very excited to be a part of this. So,
well, we're very excited to have you.
I look forward to the months, but wish him the best.
And who knows, when he returns, it may become a 3-person show if you choose to stick around. We'll see. You're a father. We're just idiot 30-somethings that are either gushing over a feline or hiking a major mountain range in America, because why the hell not? So the Duels and Manadorks podcast.
What else are you going to do in your 30s,
Exactly. I've been saying it for years. But the Duels and Manadorks podcast goes live every other week for free on YouTube, Spotify, YouTube Music, at the Apple Podcasts, all the podcast services round the globe for free feeds on Mondays, every other Monday. And you can get early and ad-free access by going to the Patreon, patreon.com/thedungeonbros, supporting at the $5 tier. Early ad-free access to the podcast. The Wednesday is what we're trying for. Wyatt's schedule's a little bit different, so it might end up being Thursdays sometimes. Who knows? We're going with the flow here. We're not trying to be crazy, but you will get the podcast early and you will get it ad-free, as I have promised in the Patreon tier. I feel like I could get sued if I didn't do those things, and you were giving me money for those things. So
contractually.
Contractual obligations, very important. We don't have it on the docket yet, but I imagine in the very near future we're going to be recording an episode of Bonus Action, a supplement podcast to go over and review the Tarkir Dragonstorm set that will be coming out, 2 weeks from now. I feel like it's right on top of us, and we're mere days away from the full set release, which is very, very exciting. in the meantime,
very excited. I'm also super excited for the pre-release. So.
Ooh, yes, pre-release. This will be the first pre-release that I've done at a local game store since 2013. Back when I first started playing Magic with Theros.
Yeah, it's been a minute then.
The Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release I think is going to be really cool because we'll get into this later when we're breaking down all of the details of the products for Tarkir Dragonstorm. But the pre-release kits, instead of 6 play boosters, it's actually 5 play boosters and then a themed booster for each of the 5 cons of Tarkir that are represented across the pre-release kits. So you get kind of one that's more structured to a specific archetype, which might be an interesting little play style, leaning your pre-release kits in a certain way.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we will, of course, be getting into that later. We've got some more important...
When I got into Magic, it was just after Tarkir, so the clans were very near and dear to my heart.
Yes, that's fair. That's
Not
fair.
to get off.
No, please. Break me off topic at a moment's notice, okay? I can sometimes get rolling and just talk and talk and talk. And so I need you to cut me off sometimes. Be like, Connor, I've got something to say. And then you can say it, absolutely. But I completely skipped over the cons of Tarkir entirely. Just how my Magic journey took me. I wasn't around for that, sadly. But we've got some dire, some might say, news from the D&D wing of Wizards of the Coast, specifically the virtual tabletop project, Project Sigil. We have been talking about this for a very long time. I got to see some early access of it at the last year's Gen Con. I got invited to do an early preview of the new revision of 5th edition. They showed a lot of interesting video for Project Sigil. For those of you that do not know, Project Sigil is a 3D virtual tabletop that has been developed by Wizards of the Coast. It is running on Unreal Engine 4, so it is actually a video game engine. In the game, you can create 3D virtual tabletops, building up walls, characters, scenery, all of the stuff that you would want from a virtual tabletop in a 3D space with assets that are pre-generated for you, or you can get super meticulous and make exactly what you want and draw it out exactly how you would like it. Their plan was to release Project Sigil, have it be updated consistently as D&D campaigns come out, so you get tied in 3D virtual tabletops with Project Sigil and with the purchase of a campaign. But alas, it seems like it is doomed to fail. It was launched in a beta release on Steam in February, and reception since then has been timid at best, with reviews celebrating graphical fidelity and ambiance while complaining of glitches, limited functionality, and general user experience issues that make it an ineffective tool for D&D players. And in the wake of all of this, through a post on a LinkedIn account of Andy Collins, who is the lead developer, or was the lead developer for Project Sigil, Wizards of the Coast laid off 90% of the Project Sigil team, including himself as lead game designer of the project. While not officially shutting it down, it is a massive, massive blow, and we will likely not be seeing this project again. Wyatt, I don't know how familiar you are with this project, but what do you make of them just completely decimating this team?
Well, I do not think that bodes well at all for anyone who might have been very interested or invested in Project Vigil, which is very unfortunate because I feel that it definitely would have had a successful place. I feel that a lot of D&D campaigns tend to lean on theater of the mind, and everyone wants to have these big sweeping battlefields like you see on Critical Role or Dimension 20 or any of these other Let's Play shows, and I think that this probably would have been a nice middle ground. You still have Tabletop Simulator. I know some people use that as their campaign to run D&D, But I think that this could have been something really, really cool if Wizards would have actually like fully went in and invested in that.
Oh, farewell to the family. Oh. Now Wyatt is a father. We all know this. A very loving, doting father, and his wife
Proud
and family
dad.
has graciously donated him to me for about 2 hours every 2 weeks. So hopefully, I don't think we're actually going to go 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I just rounding up in case we go long and we spiel. But yeah, Project Sigil was.
You like to talk. I like to talk. We can go for however long.
How many episodes of bonus actions have been drug out at least 20 to 30 minutes by us just bullshitting back and forth about some dumb bit about some magic card?
Exactly.
Every single one we've had. Every episode we've done. But laying off 90%
That's why you should go watch them if you haven't.
That is true. That is true. In the playlist that this video will be in as well. Or the podcast feed, depending on where you're listening it. But with Project Sigil, the laying off 90% of a development team is basically the final nail in the coffin for most games. That tends to only happen really when a studio is closing and they need just the bare bones team to keep the game going until it reaches the end of life service and then is discontinued. Notably, I'm thinking of what is it, Concord, the PlayStation game that was out for like a month, and then just completely got that studio closed. It was a complete abject failure within weeks. It felt like, and having this happen, a month after a beta launch is. I would not be surprised if...
Do you think this had anything to do with the success of Baldur's Gate? Do you think, like, because Baldur's Gate has done so well that they were like, maybe we don't need a virtual tabletop. Maybe people can just get their rocks off playing Baldur's Gate, and we'll just spend more time focusing on that, and then that way they can, basically cut off this whole department.
Well, I don't know if it's directly because of Baldur's Gate 3. I do think Baldur's Gate 3 might have skewed what their perception of like a successful game is. Baldur's Gate 3, one of the best-selling games of the last 5 years, is no small feat, and it required a boatload of money and a boatload of time. And to be frank, Wizards of the Coast licensed out Baldur's Gate and D&D, the D&D IP, to Larian Studios to make that game. Whereas this was being developed in-house. And I don't think if I were a betting man, this is speculation, I would be willing to guess that Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast did not realize the time and investment that it would take to develop this product to the standard that they want to develop it to, that they would have to develop it to be successful in the way they want it to be successful. And getting a beta launch to receive very not good reviews. If the reception was mostly positive, or like, oh, there's some growing pains, but I'm really excited for where this goes, then maybe I think it could have stuck around. But there was, for all the good that the graphics and the ambiance of the game were, just the amount of glitches and how limited it was on its beta release, I think kind of made it DOA in a lot of ways. Do you think that they're going to end up going through with actually releasing
again,
it?
It's just very unfortunate.
It is. I'm skeptical that it's going to come out at all, frankly. I feel like they're just going to cut their losses.
If they laid off 90% of the staff, there's no way that they release that. They're probably just like, all right, just going to scrap this whole project, which again is just it's super unfortunate, because just like with TV shows, I feel like this is a big thing that you see in television shows now, where it's like they just get one season to kind of prove that like the concept, and if it doesn't work, then they just kill the show. Whereas on TV, when you would watch a TV series or show, you usually have to get into like season 2. It takes them a little bit of time to kind of find their footing to then start putting forward like their best work. And I feel like they were in that stage where they were kind of like trying to figure out the best way to move forward with it and how it would kind of interact with, you know, D&D Beyond, and I'm sure there are other stuff, you know, because that's a lot to port in to a simulator. Would be just the massive library that Dungeons & Dragons has at its disposal. I'm sure even Baldur's Gate doesn't cover every single monster in the monster manual, much like the Magic the Gathering Arena doesn't have every single card that's ever been in Magic.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, because when I was seeing Project Sigil, they were demonstrating the core things that you would expect. There were orc NPCs, you could see animations of them firing bows, and it would calculate the damage. It was kind of automating a lot of the number calculation and the keeping track of features and uses of abilities and stuff in the game itself, as opposed to having to track it manually with pen and paper. But gosh, man, it's a damn shame, because I know that if they had gotten this to full release, a lot of those glitches would have been ironed out. The functionality would have definitely been fleshed out quite a bit. And if it received any amount of adoption in the community, they could have updated it over time, just like you can with any other video game. And this could have been the Roll20 killer, you know? Like, this could have taken over the virtual tabletop space entirely.
Yeah, like in my head, what I would have done, I would have just started with levels like 1 through 3. Like, you know, most campaigns don't have like a super expansive take you all the way to level 20. You know, you just need to focus on small chunks. 1 through 3, 1 through 5, something like that. You just pick an amount. And sure, people would probably be a little annoyed at the beginning and grumble like you can only go to level blah 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 on this, but that would give you a much smaller thing to focus on, and then you could grow upon that, and that would, I think, really kind of like give you a better footing instead of trying to jam everything all at once. 1 through 20, all the monsters, all the items, everything like that.
And I think part of the problem is having to code in the actual functionality of like all the spells. You know, something like Fireball, fairly simple to make mechanically work. What about casting like summon lesser demon, or something where you now have to create an entire creature that is specific for the spell, and then dancing blade. Like, there's so many different abilities and effects to keep track of. But I would argue that if they were only to do levels 1 to 3, the adoption, I think, might have gone down, because people are like, why the hell, like, an early campaign is all this is good for, and I have to wait. Like, I'm not spending money on this now. I'm going to wait until the features are more fleshed out, and it may have delayed adoption on the early end, which is what they would have needed to keep going. I would argue that they should have gone the way of, this is a map builder, and you can play the game, and we can give you some animations, but we're not going to calculate any of the actual mechanics going on. And then as time goes on, like, you could do a big,
really good, because I know that's basically tabletop simulator, or
exactly
what Roll20 has.
And competing directly with that, and then later being like, okay, we can implement the specific rules of the revised 5th edition into the game. We can release it as a big free update. We can make it a DLC pack. There are people that weren't going to want to play with the built-in feature calculation anyway. I know there's plenty of people that have bought an obscene amount of dice and like doing the math and like rolling the dice and like keeping track of everything on pen and paper, which is a lot of the appeal of D&D, and just having the virtual tabletop is the way to manipulate that in space, as opposed to actually doing the work for you. Oh, we all have our dice. We all have ridiculous amounts of dice. My cat has fucking dice.
You know, why would you try to get rid of dice? That's the one thing D&D players have in abundance. Time to play, not so much. Miniatures, maybe. It depends on where we are in life. But dice, everybody got dice.
My cat got dice.
Look at that.
I think she's even
prime example.
She's even sat up now because I've taken her dice. Here you go. Okay, she's a little tired, but yeah, it is a shame. It is never a good thing when a large swath of people are being laid off unexpectedly, and it's especially a shame with the potential that Project Sigil had and 3D tabletops had for D&D. This is a big loss. This is a really, really big loss.
I feel for them. I hope that that the people that were affected by this land on their feet and find something better. Mm-hmm. My biggest concern is I really hope this was not done like solely for the shareholders and like the people that like run the company just to make sure that they meet whatever quota they've set, because that could be something that is, done as well. It's not out of the realm of possibility for Wizards to do something like that where they lay people off to meet a certain
Wizards has never taken drastic measures for the bottom line. Hasbro's never been known to do that kind of thing. Never. All right. Nope. Let's move on to something a bit more positive, and that is Dragonstorm Tarkir. We have information on what the special little ditties, the special little goodies we're going to get in all of these products as we're buying Tarkir Dragonstorm. It will be released on April 11th. Pre-release will begin on April 4th, and the preview season will be ending 3 days from now as of the recording of this. So we are very soon to know all of the cards within Tarkir Dragonstorm. But we've got a lot of important things to address in the packs, in the products that are available to us. We have, of course, play boosters, collector boosters, the play booster box, the collector booster box, bundle, pre-release kits. There's 5 different varieties of pre-release kit. We got all of the good stuff you want, but some things are only available in collector boosters, which may or may not be worth it to you. Exclusive to collector boosters, we have serialized Mox Jasper cards, Ghost Fire foiling, a new kind of foil exclusive to Tarkir Dragonstorm as a reference to Ugin and his Spirit Ghost Fire abilities and appearing in the foiling on other cards. Halo foiling exclusive to the collector boosters, along with the new Dragon Scale foil that you can find on the enemy fetch lands that have new and exclusive art for the collector boosters and for the Dragon Scale foils, which, by the way, they look very fucking cool. The very viral, popular Dragon's Eye full art lands are sadly exclusive to the collector booster and just not the basic standard full art land that you can pull from a play booster. This set does have special guests, the aforementioned enemy color fetch lands.
I was going to say, the basic lands still hit.
They do.
They got
the full art basics still.
Landscapes, they look great.
You're very right. I was
kind of nervous about the same thing. I was like, these dragon eyes are going to be sick, and then they're like, those are just the collector boosters. I was like, oh man, that means the real lands probably aren't going to be as good. But I was actually really surprised with just the basic lands. They're really good.
But why are we making exclusive basic land? I feel like the last time they really did this exclusive full art basic land thing was Phyrexia All Be One with like the oil print etched foil beautiful basic lands. But you could get those in gift bundles and bundles and stuff. So it wasn't like you had to be cracking obscene numbers of collector boosters to be able to get those lands. Anyway, they should have all been the Dragon Islands. Those things are sick. But obviously, they got to sell collector boosters.
They should have.
The special guests are going to be returning for this set.
Would be in the eye of the beholder or the eye of the dragon, there's no beholder.
There's no beholders in this set. We haven't been back to the Forgotten Realms in a long time for many sets. Moving on. The special guest slot The aforementioned enemy color fetch lands are going to appear in a borderless non-foil in play boosters. You can get the foil versions in collector boosters, as well as the Ikoria Ultimatums, the 3-color, many-colored pip sorceries that have very bomb effects. My favorite one being the Mardu one, which is a one-sided everything board wipe and will basically win you the game if you cast it in a game of Commander. Both available only in borderless non-foil for play boosters. You get the special foils in the collector boosters. Running through the last few special treatments, you have reversible double-sided dragons featuring a cute little baby dragon on one side and the fearsome adult version of the dragon on the other. It is 5 dragons in total, plus the new Ugin Planeswalker we'll be getting. Borderless clan cards are for the humanoids that feature a special backdrop themed around one of the 5 cons. 36 rares and 14 mythic cards are featured here. It's the most common special frame you'll be getting. The Draconic frames are not all of the dragons in the set, but they are all dragons that get these special frames. 9 mythics, 5 rares, 15 uncommons, and 6 commons. You'll probably actually be seeing a lot of these simply based on the rarity. Story-rich sagas, sieges, and the Elspeth Planeswalker are also getting borderless treatments. 15 rares with the Mythic Planeswalker. And lastly, borderless Commander cards available in all packs, and extended art in the collector packs for the Commander cards are available. 10 mythic creatures and 40 rares in total. These are all the special treatments available in these packs. Which one would you want, Wyatt, if you had your choice?
Of special treatment or Commander deck? Because
well, we'll get to the Commander decks. But the special treatments, you're cracking open a pack, you pop that seal. What do you want?
It's got to be the dragon treatment. Like, of all the treatments I've seen, like, don't get me wrong, the ones with the con background where they're like a hyper realistic and it has like the clan symbol behind them, like that looks super sick. Love that. But at the end of the day, there's something about those dragon cards, like the way the framing is, with like it just reads super high fantasy to me. And it looks really, really cool. And I think in foil, it's just going to pop.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
What about yourself?
Well, thank you. I would definitely go for the Dragon Scale foil enemy fetch lands. I'm not going to be cracking collector boosters, so that is going to be a non-starter. But the Dragon Scale foiling on them is so badass. Definitely, call me basic. I like a borderless card. I just like a full art borderless card. You don't need to be getting crazy with it. Don't need any crazy fucking future sight frames. I don't need no clan backgrounds. Like, give me just a good like full art saga. One of the sieges. The sieges are looking like some dope enchantments. I feel like a full art siege would just make my heart go aflutter. Especially the one that's doubling attack triggers. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you were to get some packs, how much would you be paying? An arm and a leg, to say the least. Play boosters are going to be at an MSRP of $5.49 at release. Collector boosters, $24.99 per pack. Commander decks listed for an MSRP of $44.99 and the bundle for $53.99. Notably, they do not include MSRPs for boxes of boosters. You have to do the math on that. 30 in the case of play boosters. You would expect $550, 30, $150, $140 if you're getting the bulk discount. The collector boosters.
Quick math.
I don't even want to. It's obscene. Frankly, yeah. I don't respect it. I don't respect the collector boost.
Maybe they were like, hey, they got money. Give us the money.
I have an entire.
You got the cards. You have the money.
I want to slapdash together a YouTube video because I feel. This is my pie in the sky theory. I feel like Tarkir Dragonstorm is taking advantage of the entrenched Magic players, because they've seen the complaints. Wizards has seen the complaints about people moving to Universes Beyond, about how we're getting weird fedora hat sets, and we're getting, ooh, my favorite character is a cowboy. Oh, we're in an 80s horror movie instead of like regular Magic sets. So when we get the regular Magic set, here's all this cool shit. We're giving you fucking Dragon Omniscience. We're giving you a new Mox. We're reprinting the fetch lands. Okay. Also, all the cool stuff that you really want, you got to pay $25 a pack for. Also, play boosters are now $5.50.
Yeah.
Also, commander decks are $45, and you can't get a bundle for less than $50 at MSRP.
Yeah. Hey, I think they're just preparing us for the Final Fantasy set. They're like, hey, this is just a little hike. Wait till Final Fantasy. We're about to make some money off y'all. But
I'm surprised they didn't release.
As far as the commander decks go, shameless plug, if you don't want to pay $45 for the commander decks, you should probably go over to my YouTube channel and comment a commander you would like to see built on a budget.
Yes, exactly. Typical Gemini at Typical Gemini MTG on YouTube makes budget deck techs. You can get a nice commander deck for what? $4.38, something crazy like that.
Yeah, a crisp ham sandwich.
A crispy ham sandwich. So like a panini.
Yes, a pressed ham sandwich, because that is what I work for. I've actually already been brewing on Tival, which we'll probably cover more in the set review itself. So looking forward to that.
I myself am a Narset stan. Sadly, I don't like the forcing you to go hellbent aspect of this new Narset, which is a little bit unfortunate. But the, what is it, Shiku, the one that makes you the prowessy 1/1 monks when you do stuff. That's my shit right there. That is my shit right there. So
yeah, anyway. I was going to say, prowess monks? Are you kidding? That's right up your alley.
That is so far up my alley. That is so far up my alley, man. Anyway. We gotta get back to the prices here. The prices are outrageous. And part of me is surprised that they released these prices. Not right. The price is wrong. As told by Adam Sandler in the hit film Happy Gilmore. The price is wrong, bitch. And then punches Bob Barker in the face. May he rest in peace. Yeah. But I am surprised that they released the prices for Dragonstorm Tarkir MSRP before Final Fantasy. Because I feel like it would have been much less of a gut punch if they were like, here's Final Fantasy, and then like 2 days later it was like, okay, but Tarkir's here, so don't worry, it's fine. This is just Universes Beyond's normal price increase. And then some people would be like, but wait, that's more than Foundations is. Anyway. So, assuming you're willing to pay these exorbitant prices, which of course we all are. We're addicts. We have gambling addictions in the form of cardboard instead of traditional cardboard at a casino. If you choose to buy a booster box, you get a promo extended art traditional foil Karsi Revenant, which is it's a fun little black card. It's got the new renew mechanic on it, so you can exile it from your graveyard to give a bunch of ability counters. So a nice little 3 mana 3/3, 3 very good keywords. It's giving Nighthawk Scavenger vibes a little bit, and then you can give those abilities to other creatures. So a nice little card. More interestingly, if you play at your local game store in an event around Dragonstorm Tarkir, you can get a foil Dragon's Eye Waste basic land as a promo card for participating in that event at participating local game stores. So fun little promos. But you're spending the money on the pack. $5.50 a pop.
Well, you wouldn't want those to go to waste, so.
Exactly. Oh, my God. It took me too long to get that one. Jesus. Can we get Sam back already? Christ almighty. We love Wyatt. We love Wyatt.
I can't help it. You just keep handing me these, and I gotta like alley-oop them.
You make a valid point. I'm predictable. But let's say you shell out $550 for a pack of Dragonstorm Tarkir. Hell, let's say you're one of these fucking boomers and you spend $16.50 on 3 packs to draft with, like an old person. Ooh. What can you expect to open in your packs? The classic 6 to 7 commons, 3 uncommons, and then 1 card of any rarity. Oh god. I hate these breakdowns so much. They drive me crazy. Just because it's never simple. It's never just
and
here's what you got. So
no, I think they try to complicate it that way on purpose. They try to obscure what's in it.
I agree. So 6 to 7 commons, it would be if you're getting 6, it would be replaced by a non-foil Tarkir Dragonstorm special guest card, and that happens in 1.6% of packs. You get 3 guaranteed uncommons, 1 card of any rarity, and this can include the booster fun cards, so the special frames. 1 rare or mythic, which can also include the special frames. 1 traditional foil card of any rarity, which can include the booster fun cards. And 1 land card, traditional foil land in 20% of packs, Dragon's Present basic lands in 4.3%. So the full art in 4% of packs, the foil in 20% of packs, and then just your standard ass basic land in the remaining 75% of packs. And then a guaranteed, this is the best thing. This is the best. Okay? You get a non-foil double-sided token or an art card, no more ad cards, and no single-sided tokens. Hey, massive win.
They finally solved it. They solved the problem.
They figured it out. For the last time, they figured it out. Now, you might say, Connor, that's a nice little breakdown you've done of the packs. How likely am I to get the mythic rare Elspeth Stormslayer? Well, that's less than 0.1% of the wildcard slots. That's 0.1% of the rare mythic slot. If you want the full breakdown, go to magic.wizards.com. You can see the whole thing. Do you want to know that the 1 traditional foil of any rarity from among the following includes a 1.6% chance of getting a common showcase dragon frame card, or that it has a 0.2% to get a rare from among the borderless saga, sieges, and lands? And then the Elspeth is less than 0.1%. It's got that breakdown for you.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance. A bad one, but a chance nonetheless. I pulled
very small one.
I pulled a fucking Mana Crypt out of a Lost Caverns of Ixalan pack that I bought on a whim at Walmart. So like, all bets are off. You could get who knows? Yeah. Maybe they'll fuck it up and you'll get a serialized Mox Jasper in your fucking basic play booster pack at this point. Who knows? They might be lying to us. They aren't. They might be though. But they're not. The collector if you think that's weird and complicated, now we get the collector booster packs, which have 1 additional card. For $20 more.
Whoa.
You get 1 additional card. I know. 4 traditional foil commons, 3 traditional foil uncommons, 1 non-foil common or uncommon draconic card, 1 traditional foil common or uncommon draconic card, 1 foil or non-foil or traditional foil full art land, 1 traditional foil rare or mythic, 1 non-foil rare or mythic borderless or extended art commander card, 2 non-foil rare or mythic rare booster fun cards, and then 1 rare or mythic rare. Jesus Christ, the print on this is so small. Oh my god, I need to zoom in now. If the picture will even the picture's not even loading anymore.
You're doing great, champ.
And then 1 Rare or mythic rare, traditional foil booster fun, Tarkir Dragonstorm special guest or dragon scale foil card, or traditional foil or halo foil ghost fire card, or serialized headliner card.
Or.
Yeah, that one slot can go fuck itself.
Yeah. Do you want to
also it has
an probability in there?
Also, hold on. In that last slot, the traditional foil or halo,
or it could be gold.
Also, in the one rare or mythic rare at the end, that could be all of those things. If it happened to be a traditional foil or halo foil ghost fire card, there's an asterisk there. The asterisk says that ghost fire cards in Japanese packs are always in Japanese, and for all other languages, 67% of ghost fire cards are in English, and then 33 are in Japanese.
So what you're telling me is I'm going to sit beside one person at the pre-release who's going to just, for some reason, have a collector pack, and they're just going to rip this, and it's going to be the Elspeth in Ghostfire foil that they're going to be able to play and flex on everybody at the pre-release. That's what I'm understanding.
No, they're not going to be able to play it in the pre-release because it's not in the pre-release kit. Fucking, right. I'm working with idiots over here. My goodness. He's been playing Magic for how many fucking years?
It's rotted my brain.
If you're insane enough to buy a collector booster box, you will get 12 of these packs of God knows what you're going to be getting. I don't know why why 3 of these slots are non-foils. This is a collector booster pack. Why aren't they all foils? Oh, you also get one double-sided traditional foil token. And you get 0 art cards. So if you want the art cards, you're going to be very upset after you spend what's 24 times 12, fucking $300 on a collector booster box. Anyway, let's go to the cool things.
No, thank you.
Let's go to the things that are actually worth buying. We got commander decks. Do you have anything to say about the breakdowns of these packs? I think it's fucking outrageous, personally. But before we move on,
it's absolutely insane. It's like overload with numbers of like the percentages of what you could get in this, and then don't get me wrong. Like I think the rarities, like the different foiling techniques we're getting and everything is cool. But at the end of the day, like, for every alternate card, there's 3 or 4 alternate forms of it now, and they're like, you can get it in normal foil, you can get it in dragon foil, you can get it in Ghostfire foil, you can get it in serialized Ghostfire foil full art serialized Golden Wind Nugget card, just and on and on and on and on, and it's just, you're doing too much, Wizards. I remember the days when you were happy to get a foil, just a foil, one foil in a normal pack, and they were happy about it.
Whatever happened to 7 commons, 4 uncommons, 1 rare mythic, and 1 guaranteed foil in a land?
What happened to that?
Back in my day, I've been playing Magic that long.
Let me get real back in my day real quick. I remember when they first introduced the special cards in Zendikar. That's how long I've been playing this game. I remember when they first
invented full art lands.
I remember when they first did SpongeBob Universes Beyond. I always hated it.
I hated it. All right. Moving on. We're getting 5 commander decks. This is... This is a spectator sport at this point, trying to get through the fucking how to collect them all. Jesus Christ. So, 5 commander decks at $45 a pop. Little bit more than the standard 40 we get for a normal commander deck. But you get 10 new card designs in each, including the face and backup commanders for these decks. They are built around the 5 cons of Tarkir: Abzan, Jeskai, Sultai, Mardu, and Temur, with the aforementioned color combinations represented by the decks. Obviously, I'm a big Jeskai boy. Very big Jeskai boy. Low on the lower key, big Mardu boy. Especially with the new mobilize mechanic. I'm very excited. We'll get into that in our set review where we go over the mechanics. But mobilize, and the commander for the Mardu deck, I feel like is gonna bust the until end of turn token meta wide fucking open.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
So, if you were to buy a Tarkir Dragonstorm commander deck, you can get a ready-to-play 100-card commander deck with 2 foil commanders. The face commander with borderless art and the featured commander with borderless art, a.k.a. the backup commander. You will also get 10 double-sided tokens, 1 collector booster sample pack that has 2 cards in it, a non-foil or traditional foil rare or myth. God, we're doing the fucking thing again. 1 non-foil or traditional foil rare or mythic rare booster fun card, or 1 traditional foil common or uncommon showcase draconic frame card. So a guaranteed draconic frame card, and then a rare or mythic. Big. Honestly, better than the normal collector booster sample packs that you're more apt to get. And then, of course, what is generously called a deck box for the cards as well.
Yeah.
What commander decks really speak to you, Mr. Gemini?
I was really high on the Mardu. Mardu looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. The Sultai one has actually piqued my interest because I have a Sultai one already. From that was the morph creatures, but this Sultai one, I really like the direction they've taken it this time. And then also, I was high on the Abzan till they revealed, I believe it is the backup commander for the deck, and that kind of turned me off of the Abzan.
Interesting. Have you seen that after they showed the packaging for these commander decks, and I think Sultai Arisen has been shown already at this point. Every card that is halfway good that cares about the druid creature type has suddenly spiked in price.
Convenient.
Interesting, methinks. I'm probably not going to be getting a commander deck right out of the gate, though there are some very cool cards that you might want to buy as singles, if you're interested.
Oh, for sure.
The next product that I think is somewhat worth getting is the Tarkir Dragonstorm bundle for $52.99. It includes a nice little bonus card, a guaranteed card, the Teamer Battle Crier, for, what is it, green, blue, red. It's a 4/3. During your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. It counts itself. So when you play it, you're getting at least a 1 mana reduction on all your spells. And in Teamer colors, the last thing you want to do is your opponent to be reducing the cost of their spells, because they play a lot of big things. And this makes it very easy to cast lots of big things repeatedly, especially when the big things are then further reducing the cost of future big things that you might be casting. So that's cool. You get 9 Tarkir Dragonstorm play boosters, which, by the way, 9 times 5. Interesting. That's 45. And then the 50 will make it another 450. That's $49.50. That's a couple dollars less than just buying 9 booster packs outright. So what are you getting for that extra $5 to $10? Well, the aforementioned Teamer Battle Crier is a guaranteed alternate art promo. You get 30 basic lands, 10 traditional foil default frame basic lands, 5 traditional foil Dragon's Presence basic lands. That is the full art that is not the cool eye. And then 10 in non-foil and 10 in non-foil for the Dragon's Presence. You get 2 reference cards, a spin down dice, and a card storage box. If it were up to me, I'd probably just buy the packs and not the bundle at the price they're offering. But that's just me. Are you a bundle boy?
Yeah. I I kind of am a bundle boy. That's a big reason I'm in Magic is because of the bundles. A lot of my early card collecting days are still in the Cons of Tarkir, actually. Bundle, the holiday bundle. I still have them over there. I could go get the box, but it's a lot of work. So
yeah, we don't need to take it out.
But yeah, we don't need to do all that. But if you're looking to start collecting or just start kind of keeping track of what you have and it's not massive already, then a holiday box is probably going to be the way to go. You know, it's a nice thing to get someone who's interested in Magic the Gathering. Maybe a holiday gift, a birthday, Christmas. I don't know. You just feel like getting them something. It's probably good there for someone who's interested because it comes with everything you would need. You know, cards, spin down, basic lands, and a way to hold all of the other cards that you're not going to use. So, I think it's honestly for the value, it's kind of right where it should be. I feel like that's right in that sweet spot.
It is definitely a good it's definitely good for a new player because getting the 30 basic lands is, if you're a new player, plus you get the lands in the packs themselves, that is a huge benefit if you've never really played Magic. And as a first time player, I think the bundles are definitely the way to go. If it were me, I would just buy the packs, probably. I think the Teamer, the Teamer Battle Crier is pretty cool. I'll give them that, but I don't know if it's worth the couple bucks.
You can get him out of a pack.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. What I am definitely going to be buying, though, at least 2 of, is the pre-release kit. Pre-release kits traditionally do not have MSRP, and they kind of come down to what the local game store is willing to sell them at. My local game store sells them for $40, and they throw a couple of prize packs on top of them, especially if you are joining them for a pre-release event at the store. But special to these pre-release kits, special to Tarkir Dragonstorm, it's not like the Brothers War pre-release kits where you basically just got the same pre-release kit and they had some different art on them. You are technically getting 5 different pre-release kits that you can choose from. One for each of the 5 cons. They include 5 play boosters instead of the regular 6, and then 1 clan-themed Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release booster. That includes 14 Magic the Gathering cards, contains 1 of 9 rares or mythics tied to the pre-release pack's clan. You also get the standard traditional foil year-stamped rare or mythic rare. It is not tied to the pre-release pack's clan, which I think is a little silly, personally.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the deck box and spin-down dice that matches the pre-release pack's clan. I think it's interesting that they're playing with the pre-release format a little bit, giving you a special pack for pre-release that leans you in a direction of one of the 5 cons specifically. Are you a pre-release player?
I try to be. Usually pre-release happens on a day when I have something else already planned, so I don't usually get to play, but I always try to make it if I can. And I really enjoy the fact that they're doing that, because one of the problems with when you go in and get to choose either your guild or your clan or, you know, your wedge or whatever you're choosing when they do these special kind of pre-releases is you don't end up in the colors that you wanted to end up in. Like, you'll get the dice and you're like, that's cool, but, you know, I remember distinctly the Guilds of Ravnica pre-release, and I went Rakdos and ended up playing like Azorius because that was just the pull that I had. So I think this is a good way to kind of get you into it, although I really do... It's also going to come down to what else you pull at the end of the day. Like, if your packs have no other Mardu cards, but you did get this one pack with Mardu cards, unfortunately, you're probably not going to be playing Mardu unless those 14 cards were just crazy good.
Crazy good. Now, to push this even further, I will say that the clan-themed Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-release booster, the only one that it guarantees other than just the standard 14 Magic the Gathering cards is the one that is tied to the pre-release packs clan. So the rare or mythic slot is really the only one that's tied to your clan's colors. Which, I mean, ultimately the rares and mythics are the bombs that you end up building around in a pre-release environment. But again, if you don't have the support from that pack and the other 5 to go into that wedge, especially in this set where there isn't a ton of great mana fixing and getting the colors that you want. You've got the life gain lands, is it the temples? Are they doing the temples?
The steps, or citadels, or something like that. I know the lands you're referring to. They're the tri-lands, the tapped tri-lands.
Well, the tapped tries that are not the triomes, which would be fucking bonkers amazing. No. But I think they also have some tapped duels in there. But the mana fixing isn't fantastic, and if you don't get the proper support...
I think they tried to give each clan, I think they tried to give them a mana dork that taps for their clan's colors. That's like 2 mana.
Yes, they did.
Yes, like that. It's not super mana efficient, but it is there for fixing.
So those are the core products that are going to be releasing with Tarkir Dragonstorm. Wyatt, before you give me your final thoughts on the products, give me a little high five to the camera to unblur yourself, and then tell us what you think of the product. Ooh, uh-oh. Turned up the Gaussian blur.
Better, worse?
I don't know if it made it worse.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Wait. I got this.
It's definitely about the same. Ooh. We'll deal with it. What do you think of the Tarkir Dragonstorm products as they have been laid out for collectors here?
I mean, it's a lot of product, like a lot of different varieties, which is always good. I think variety is good for the customer, the consumer, because that will hopefully keep prices on certain things lower because of the variety that you can get them in. So that I'm hopeful for, but I'm not super stoked to see the price of packs, just average packs, go up.
It's going to cost $16.50 to do a draft of Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Yep. It's rough. Inflation is hitting everything, including your favorite card game.
That said, I'm buying it, so... You know, who's really the fool here?
Yeah, I mean, this will probably be one of the first sets that I buy an actual box for, because I'm that excited about it, which is odd because usually I'm not a big fan of dragons.
Interesting. So obviously, I bought a box of Lord of the Rings when that came out.
Yeah.
For a while, Sam and I were splitting the cost on the remastered sets, so like the Dominaria remastered, we bought and split a booster pack or booster box of. We did the same with Ravnica remastered. We did the same for March of the Machines Aftermath because the box was $40.
Yeah,
and so we each threw in a 20, and we still didn't get our money back because those little mini booster packs suck so hard. And I even pulled, that's where I pulled my Narset set from that I'm in love with. Like, there's good cards in those packs. There's good valuable cards in that.
Oh, yeah.
In those packs. It's just, even at $40, cracking the whole box, not even making that back is fucking crazy for a set. But that was years ago. We need to move on.
Yep.
One last item.
We need to go forward.
Indeed. I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Obviously, we're talking about SpongeBob now because the last little wrap-up item for the day, Secret Lairs. We have the spring super drop that just dropped several days ago as of the recording of this podcast. And as expected, the foil versions of all of the SpongeBob Secret Lairs are completely sold out. And the non-foil versions of, interestingly, the basic lands and the internet meme one are sold out. But as I'm here, having just refreshed this webpage not 20 seconds ago, I could still buy the Secret Lair Cross SpongeBob SquarePants Legends of Bikini Bottom Secret Lair. Given recent controversies, particularly around the Marvel Secret Lairs, around the oh my god, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Jesus Christ, my girlfriend almost just left me, having forgot about Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Frankly, they've seemingly not been printing enough, and these Secret Lairs have been getting sold out immediately. From what I can tell through my email history as well, the SpongeBob Lairs were all available for at least a couple hours. And the non-foil one is still available several days later. A little bit of theory crafting here. A Duels and Manadorks exclusive, if you will. Are they like starting to fix the Secret Lair supply chain problem?
Personally, I don't think that's what's getting fixed. I think that people that wanted the SpongeBob Secret Lair were going to buy the foil ones. And the non-foil ones are more for, like, those are going to be left for the people who are like, okay, well, I just really wanted one, but the foil's gone, so I guess I'll buy this one. Mm-hmm. But I think that one's kind of just getting left by the wayside because, again, anyone who is really die-hard is going to get the foil, and anyone else is going to be like, well, I wanted the foil, but the foil's gone, so I guess I'll pick this up. And everyone else was like, I'm not buying a SpongeBob Secret Lair, so I'll buy something else.
I've been finding myself falling more and more to the dark side of the Secret Lair. I personally don't have a problem with Secret Lairs. I bought the Monty Python and the Holy Grail Secret Lairs. I gave one to the girlfriend, who is a Monty Python and the Holy Grail fan. Doesn't give a flying fuck about magic, but I put all the cards in a cute little frame. And she's like, that's pretty cool. It's like it's a little melding of two things that we love.
Of course.
The reprint value on these Secret Lairs is objectively not been there. But then you go to Card Kingdom. You go to TCG Player. Notoriously, the Lord of the Rings Secret Lair, where they did all of the cool art from the animated Lord of the Rings movies back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Those Secret Lairs had a reprint value of like $2. Like, they were terrible cards. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I can't get all of the cards in that Secret Lair for less than like $50.
Yeah.
If I wanted those specific cards.
Unfortunately, one of the side effects of the Secret Lairs has been that people will see the value of the card and not get it because it's like, well, the value's just not there. But then later you'll try to pick up a single and it's maybe not crazy expensive, but it's like, this card, if I was just buying it normally, is a 5-cent card. Now you're telling me it's $6 because it's a Secret Lair card? And that's unfortunately just the way the game kind of goes. It's always nice to snatch up Secret Lair cards when you can, but that's just unfortunately one of the failings between what's the projected value of Secret Lairs versus what they end up being.
True. And there's certain Secret Lairs that you can tell the value is going to be retained. Like the Marvel Secret Lairs They were new card designs. Like, those were going to hold value.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
Not only
sat
were they
here.
new card designs, they were good cards.
They were good cards. But I'm here looking at Secret Lair cross SpongeBob. And I'm clicking into the page, and I can still get the non-foil version. I feel like SpongeBob's going to hold the value, right? Like, I could probably get this Secret Lair and then immediately list it unopened. Double my money?
Probably.
Triple my money? Now, do I want to be one of those awful...
I think it's going to be one of those things that people are going to sleep on until they're like, you know what? I'm building a Joda the Unifier deck. I actually want to pick up that SpongeBob, and they're going to go look, and it's going to be like a $30 to $40 card, and they're going to be like, well,
that's what I'm saying.
Guess I'll just print it off and proxy it.
So, do I want to become one of those degenerate Magic the Gathering scalpers? No. But it's been several days. If you wanted a SpongeBob Secret Lair, you had the chance to get your SpongeBob Secret Lair. Now the question is, do I actually end up choosing to gamble the $30 on this for what I think is a pretty safe gamble? That remains to be seen. Who knows? Maybe I'll make a video about it. A nice little YouTube short.
Should.
Then maybe that can justify it a little bit. Open it up. Trade in the cards. I have a Joda the Unifier deck, so maybe I just...
And we haven't seen what the other card is.
Ooh, that is true, the bonus.
So that could be something pretty cool.
So, the Legends of Bikini Bottom. The notable absence. Oh gosh, is there really one? Patrick, Sandy, Gary, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Plankton. What if it's like the fucking the robot wife? Ooh, what if it's the my leg guy?
Ooh, Karen?
And it's dismembered.
Or Larry the Lobster.
Larry, Pearl, Mrs. Puff.
Oh, that'd be good. Or the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, I think I'm gonna get it. I think I might have just sold I think I might have just sold myself live on air.
Don't forget, you can also pick up your Secret Lair class of 87.
Fuck no, I'm not. Those cards are ugly as shit. You kidding me? Like, we're not here to talk
You want to talk about a Secret Lair that doesn't have value? Yikes,
dude. You preaching to the fucking choir, man. Preaching to the choir. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the time we have today on this, the Lord's 89th episode of the Duels of Mandorks podcast. Wyatt, thank you so much for filling in for Sam. It is greatly appreciated. It's bailed me out quite a bit, because when he told me he wanted to go on this trip, I was like, fuck. Now I need to find someone to replace him.
No problem.
So it is. I very much appreciate you taking time out of your very busy fatherly schedule to bullshit around with me for an hour or two every other week, plus bonus actions. We'll see. Tarkir Dragonstorm bonus action where we review the set should be coming out at some point. I'm not going to put a date on it yet. We haven't recorded it. That's not how I operate. But yes, how does it feel to be on a...
Don't worry about it.
It'll get there. Before we part ways, how does it feel to be a regular member of the standard Duels of Mandorks show?
I love it. I tell you guys all the time that I'm super grateful every time you guys bring me on to talk about Magic the Gathering and just all kinds of different goings on, and I'm even more grateful now to be able to fill in for Sam, and I hope I can kind of make this like a regular thing where even when Sam's back, much more muscular and rugged as a man,
yeah. Oh my God,
to still fill in as well.
Okay, I need to, when we're off air, I'll show this to you. I might even put it up in the edit of the video. Who knows? But Sam, long hair, long,
Yeah.
like man bun, little ponytail vibe, bearded, much like myself, shaved, everything. Like buzz cut, short hair, shaved his beard, different person entirely. Because he's hiking for so long. He doesn't want to have to deal with it like immediately getting long and out of control. He wants to give himself a little bit of that time for it to grow in as he is traveling, see how much it grows in this travels. I think it's very fair. Homeboy looks like a different fucking hero. Like when I met him, he was clean, buzz cut, clean shaven. A little bit of a different body composition. He notably packed on the pounds, the carbs, specifically for the hike. He was a big runner, but he's just kind of been packing on a little bit more muscle, a little bit more of the body weight just for the physical activity. And Homeboy's different. I'll show you
in Appalachia.
That is as you do. But yes, it'll be good to have him come back, and I think a third person on the podcast would do nothing but good for the show. Hopefully by the time he comes back, we've grown the show so much that we don't need him anymore. You know, you just toss him to the wayside. Like, hey, Sam, you were gone for 3 months, and now we have like 10,000 monthly active listeners, and we make a boatload of money on Patreon. Also, I kicked you out.
Oh yeah, hit the bricks.
Really, you were holding us back
the
show entire time. Wyatt and Connor daily. No, we love Sam. We miss Sam. Gosh, we might be near an episode 100 by the time he comes back. We'll be near an episode 100 by the time he gets back. That'll be exciting. Got to do something crazy for episode 100.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, oh man, I might get to record episode 100.
That'd be crazy because we haven't been doing normally these podcasts. It's like, oh, episode 100. They've been doing it for almost 2 years. No, we post every other week, and we've been a couple days late sometimes, but we have not missed a week. We have not missed an episode. Sometimes they've been delayed, but we have not missed them,
which is impressive.
I hold myself to the standard of if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. It might be a little bit late. It might not be up to my arbitrary standard of quality, which, I mean, frankly, there's very little quality to be had here, I would argue. We're a bunch of fucking idiots, but, you know.
Nah,
But
look, it's all quality. It's quality and quantity.
It is. I got nothing against a quantity. I'm a big fan of a quantity myself. I'm a very large human being. I thrive on quantity in a lot of instances over quality. Like I'll fuck up some McDonald's value menu so bad, man. It's not even funny. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The podcast. The podcast. I'll even crack open Markov Manor. Like I don't even give a shit. You know. I don't give a fuck. Give me the packs. But posting every other week at 89 episodes. That's what? Almost 4 years?
Yeah.
I'll take it. Well, here's to 4 more. And
a year.
26 per year.
So every other week is half of that, so that's
like
26? Yeah,
26.
Whoa.
We're doing it a little while. The first, 85 of them, garbage, trash.
That was just the first season. You know, you gotta be like, all right, we're stepping into the new season now. We're finding our footing. We're going forward from here. Up and away, Excelsior. If you ever want a lesson in what not to do, just go watch the first 10 episodes, man. It's rough. It's rough. For one, no video in the podcast. It was all audio, except for the TikTok live stream. Because we live streamed it on TikTok. That's how long ago it was. But yeah. Here's to new beginnings in the Duels and Mana Dorks podcast. We were originally the Dungeon Bros podcast. Like it wasn't even
We did a rebrand like a year and a half ago. It's been a whole thing. So here's to a new era. Here's to a new era. And yeah, can't wait to have you back on the next one. Can't wait to have you back for the bonus action of Dragonstorm Tarkir set review. Excited to get that going. So I'm gonna put you on the spot here because you're gonna have to say something. Okay, you've listened to the show.
Okay,
you know how the podcast goes. You can't copy Sam, so you got to come up with something. Because I ended the same way, and then I just kind of stopped. I stopped talking, and then you got to say something. Are you ready?
Okay.
We love you.
Let's see what I can end it with. All right. You put me on the spot.
Here we go.
Okay.
We love you very much, and as always.
Yeah. Auf Wiedersehen. Das Vidania.
Oh, that's perfect.